can't keep from staring at him, and the music swells. They drop their nets, so overcome with the power of Jesus' presence, and never taking their eyes off Jesus, they leave their boats and nets and follow him. He got them. Was it that easy? What set the brothers in motion? Why did they follow Jesus? Maybe something was happening inside these brothers. Maybe they too had heard that John had been arrested, and it just all came together. Maybe they felt they had to make a change. Something in them was churning, yearning, and confused and dissatisfied. They were ready to change their hearts and their lives. Maybe they felt that the arrest of John was the breaking point. There's a commentator, Warren Carter. He noted that as fishermen, that these sets of brothers were likely under contract with the Roman Empire. As brothers and possibly members of a cooperative with James and John, they have purchased a lease or contract with Rome's agents that allows them to fish and obligates them to supply a certain quality of fish to the Roman government. Their actions in following Jesus was a disruption, even if small, to Rome's economic interests. Jesus walks by with his message, and yes, in that moment, for the brothers, it was that easy. Matthew doesn't say why the brothers immediately left, basically their whole lives, but he sets it up as a series of events all coming together. Jesus is arrested, John is arrested. Now the government has gone too far, and in response, Jesus starts announcing, change your hearts, change your lives. Jesus leaves his hometown. Andrew, Peter, James, and John leave their professions. All were set in motion. Change your hearts. Change your lives. Follow me. Maybe it's nothing more than these fishermen were tired of working the family business. They wanted more than getting up, going to work, dropping in on the synagogue on Saturdays. Maybe they were just waiting and ready to hear the call to change their hearts and change their lives. Jesuit priest Greg Boyle of Homeboy Industries, which was created to employ former gang members in LA, said in an interview when asked to describe their process of rehabilitation, he wanted to make it clear. Well, he said, we don't exist to help those in need. We are only around for those who want help. These brothers wanted to change their hearts and lives. And fishing and being good attendees in the synagogue wasn't changing them. They were ready to be set in motion. Because that's what Jesus was about. Not building a mega church, not helping us feel better because I've been there too, but with the message of let's change things that are oppressive and life-sucking. It's not easy. Jesus first says, change your hearts and change your lives. Change. In order to do that, to become a changed person, you need to leave those old things behind. It's just not that easy. and I'll show you how to fish for people. Okay, for us today, this can be a very problematic sentence in the scripture. It has served to fuel awful oppression through empire and colonialism. It has made the church all about numbers. Success of a community based on how many people we caught on Sunday, and becoming a mega church. But that wasn't what was happening in the scene in Matthew. Fishing for people was about being around, being present for all who wanted help. The help to end the oppressive and life-sucking habits in themselves and in the systems. Jesus was offering the liberation those fishermen brothers were looking for. In another place in Scripture, a rich young man asked Jesus to show him the way. But instead of nets and boats, he had houses and friends and comforts. In this case, it was harder to drop everything and follow Jesus. The story tells us that the rich young man still felt he was lacking something. He was lacking life. And still, he couldn't drop those things that were really satisfying, that weren't really satisfying, and follow. It's not that easy to divest from, leave behind all that causes harm to others, to ourselves, or even those things that we are clinging to that bring us comfort, but not life. Yes, Jesus gets us, but he also calls us. I wonder, what nets do we need to leave behind?